Hello, children. So, we were discussing the chapter number one of the history, that is, tracing changes through thousand years. Means we were discussing the changes that have occurred in the medieval period, right from the 7th to 8th century to 18th century. These are all the things we were discussing. And in this, we have seen that various regional groups have emerged in our country in the political groups have also emerged. Some new things have also emerged in the country. These are all the things we have discussed. In this way, some new things were also introduced in our country, like as you can see here, like the Persian wheel for irrigation, the spinning wheel in weaving, and the firearm combat. These all the things have newly introduced in our country. Even new foods and beverages also arrived in our country. What kind of new foods and beverages? Like potatoes, corn, chilies, tea, and coffee. See, all these foods were not the part of our Indian food earlier. These were introduced by the outside social and political groups which have entered in our country. We were never eating the potatoes, we were never eating the corns, even the chilies that we use every day in our food. The chilies were not the part of our everyday food. These all the things have been newly introduced in the medieval period in our country. Even chilies we have started to use at least 500 years ago. Before 500 years ago, we were not eating chilies and all that. For the spiciness or for making the food hot or spicy, we were using the black pepper. So now we, in place of black pepper, we are using chilies. So you can understand with this. As a result, this was a period of economic, political, and social cultural changes also. As a result, it was the period of social, cultural, and political changes also. You will learn about all these changes in chapter number 5, 6, and 7. This was also the period of great mobility, means the people or the group of people were continuously traveling here and there. They were not stable, they were completely mobile. They were moving here and there. And they were traveling so distant places in search of opportunities and the chances of development. That time, the subcontinent held immense wealth. That was the time when, in our Indian subcontinent, immense wealth was available, and the possibilities were carved out by the people were carving out by their fortune. What are the what kind of possibilities? Possibilities of the development, possibilities of the growth and progress. One group of such people became an important in this period. And what was the name of that period? Rajput. So the son of what is the meaning of Rajput basically? The son of the ruler. What is the meaning of Rajput? Son of the ruler. So these Rajputs were calling themselves as the son of the ruler. So between 8th and 14th century, the term was applied more generally to group of warriors who claimed Kshatriya caste or status. So this group of people were termed as the warriors, or they claimed themselves as the Kshatriyas. The term included, uh, see here it is the picture of spinning wheel. As you can see, it is a Persian wheel, sorry, Persian wheel, which was used for irrigating the land, irrigation for the land. Not just and chieftains, but also soldiers and commanders who served in the armies of different monarchs all over the subcontinent. Chivalric code of conduct, extreme valor, and great sense of loyalty were the qualities attributed to Rajputs by their poets and bards. and other group of people such as Marathas, Sikhs, Jats, Ahom, and Kayasthas of scribes also used the opportunities of the age to become politically important. So whatever the new group of political groups were emerging, they used all these opportunities which were there in our subcontinent to prove themselves politically important. Throughout this period, there was a gradual clearing of forests and all that we have discussed in the last period. New jatis have also emerged, jati panchayats have also emerged at that time. But these jatis were also required to follow some rules and regulations in the villages. Several villages were governed by chieftain. Chieftain means what? This to whom we call mukhia, or the head of the villages. Together, they were only one small unit of a state. Now, next point that we are going to understand is region and empire. Large states like those of Cholas, Tughlaq, or Mughals encompassed many regions. Sanskrit Prashasti, chapter number 2, for an example of Prashasti, is given there, praising the Delhi Sultan Riyazuddin Balban, who ruled between 1266 to 1287, explained that he was the ruler of vast empire. Who? Ghiyazuddin Balban. Ghiyazuddin Balban was the ruler of vast empire that stretched from Bengal. Bengal was called as the Goda that time. In the east to the Ghazni, means Ghazna, in Afghanistan in the west, and included all of South India, Dravida. People of different regions, Gauda, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Gujarat, apparently fled before his armies. Historians regard these as exaggerated claims of conquest. At the same time, they try to understand why rulers kept claiming to have control over different parts of the subcontinent. Means, in this point, we have seen that one of the Sanskrit Prashasti praises the Ghiyazuddin Balban, that the large part of the subcontinent was conquered by the Ghiyazuddin Balban, as just right from Gauda. Gauda means what? Bengal, right from the Bengal till in the west in Afghanistan till Ghazni. This was the part of the Ghiyazuddin Balban's ruling area. It was explained by it is explained in that Prashasti. So the people of different region, like he also conquered, like not only Goda, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Gujarat apparently fled before. Means it is a kind of an exaggeration. Some people or some historians says that whatever is written in that Prashasti, that he has conquered right from Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, and East India, as well as in the Afghanistan. These are some of the kind of the exaggeration of his conquest, that he won that much of land and he became the ruler of that region. It is a kind of a exaggeration. It was not in real over there. So they try to understand why rulers kept claiming to have control over the different parts of subcontinent. So these historians always try to understand that why the rulers try to uh, always say that different parts of the subcontinents were under the control of such rulers. So in here it is also explained about the languages and region. In 1318, the poet Amir Khusro noted that there was a different language in every region of this land. Means in on this subcontinent, if you will go in different areas, Amir Khusro, the poet who was under the Alauddin Khalji's rule, or who was under working under the court of the Amir Khusro, he also noted that different languages in every region were spoken. Like there was Sindhi, Lahori, Kashmiri, Dwar Samudri. in southern Karnataka, Telangani, that is in the Andhra Pradesh. Now Telangana is a separate state. Gujri in Gujarat, Mabari in Tamil Nadu, Gauri in Bengal, Awadhi in eastern Uttar Pradesh, and Hindvi in areas around Delhi. So this kind of different languages were spoken in different regions. That was also observed by the Amir Khusro. And Amir Khusro went on to the explain that in contrast to these languages, there was Sanskrit language which did not belong to any region. It was an old language and common people do not know it, only the Brahmanas do. See here, he studied that Amir Khusro studied that when he went to explain that in contrast to this languages, there was Sanskrit which did not belong to any region. It was an old language. Means Sanskrit was not spoken by any of the common people. It was basically belonging to the Brahmanas. Means Brahmanas were knowing this language, and only the Brahmanas were knowing this language, not other people. So in this way, we can say Amir Khusro explained that the Sanskrit language did not belong to any region of the country. It was belonging to a particular people, a particular group of community. So, in this way, by 700, many regions already possessed distinct geographical dimensions and their own language and cultural characteristics. You will learn more about this in chapter number 9. They were associated, they were also associated with specific ruling dynasties. Occasionally, dynasties like the Cholas, Khaljas, Tughlaqs, and Mughals were able to build an empire that was pan-regional empire. See, at that time in the medieval period, these dynasties were very important dynasties like Cholas, Khaljas, Tughlaqs, and Mughals were able to. They were very important, and they were able to build an empire that was pan-regional. What is pan regional means? Basically spanning diverse region, means which is full of diversity. Means continuously where the changes were occurring. Changes means what? Sometimes there's the rule of Cholas, then Khaljis won, then Khaljis rule came, then Tughlaq won, then Tughlaq's rule came, then Mughal won, then Mughal's rule came. It was continuously changing, and that's why this region is called as the pan regional empire. So this, and or as well as it is also called as spanning diverse regions. Not all these empires were equally stable or successful. None of this, whether it is Cholas, Khalji, Tughlaq, or Mughal, none of these none of these rulers were equally stable or successful. Uh, in this way, we can understand this point. Then, in the here we can say compare, for example, table 1 in Khalji 3 and 4, chapter 3 and 4. That we will do in the next period. When the Mughal Empire declined in the 18th century, it led to the re-emergence of regional states. But years of imperial pan-regional rule had altered the character of the regions across most of the subcontinents. The regions were left with legacies of the big and small states that had ruled over them. This was apparent in the emergence of many distinct and shared traditions in realms governance, the management of economy, allied cultures, and 1750, the character of the different regions did not grow in isolation. These regions felt the impact of larger pan-regional forces of integration without ever quite losing their distinctiveness. Uh, so in this way, we can say the different regions and different empires have emerged at that time. This point we will understand in detail in the next period. Thank you very much.